Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire Stick TV, Facebook, and YouTube. Get all your sports news here first. The daily podcasts are Ken and Ken in the Morning, Lions Talk with Smoking Jeremy B, Wrestling Roundup, The Big Football Show, and more, Shield TV, Lions Villain Report, and Red Zone Rant. The afternoon podcasts are Valhalla, Grosef Sports, WCFL Dolphins Talk, The Cheap Seats, The Bodkin Show, Spirit of Detroit Podcast, and Maniacs. The nightly podcasts are Hallis Hall Report, Frozen Tundra Network, Skull Gang 365, The Huddle Sports Network Open Mic, First and 10 with Foz, Main Event Football Show, Prime Sports World, The Man Cave, Prim and Proper Sports. Spitballing Podcast, Lions Fan Cave Chat, Puckett, 313 Den Podcast, The Guys Huddle, Shots from the Sideline, Let's Talk Sports, The Michigan Truth Sports Podcast, Off the Rails, NFC Northeast, Power Hours, and Detroit Lions News. Make sure you follow, like, share, subscribe, and comment. Hope you like all the shows.
Good evening. It is the NFC North and East Power Hour. I got the East guy, Von Doom, in the house for a change. What's up, Von Doom?
Not too much, buddy. How's it going?
Fan-fucking-tastic. That's all I got to say. Regular season time. Let's fucking go. You're right, gun guy. Preseason finally ending. Hallelujah. And Buddy Conquito. I know how much you love that song there, Leonard.
Dear God, somebody please take that soundboard from him.
I bought a second one in case this one breaks already.
Man, I'm going to figure out how to send power surges to your house.
They already tried it. Didn't knock it out. It has a built-in circuit breaker on it.
We'll see.
We'll see. Oh, RXJ driving back from my trip. What's up, fellas? Well, I looked online. There is no news of any cuts yet, but there is news on one guy. Adam Schefter reports that DJ Reader is ready to go 2 weeks prior to week 1, activated from the PUP list because he cleared all physicals today. And
That's not too bad.
That's great news.
Giants already got their cuts done.
Because, Von Doom, you already said as soon as we signed him, man, if he gets healthy, that's going to make your D-line so much better.
Yep. 100% it will, because you're going to take up 2 bodies.
So, I want to talk about that first quarter because I was watching it. I saw Pascal get a sack, and then it got taken away because Broderick Martin's glove got caught on the guy's jersey. It wasn't like a handful type of grab. You know what I'm talking about, Von Doom? It looked like his finger got caught in the jersey.
Yeah, I know what you're saying there, but I don't know, man.
So he gets called for that. No, but if your hand's not closed, it's not a hold, is what I'm getting at. Commanders over Giants, Orlando Escribano Jr. says, cancel his subscription to your OnlyFans. He keeps talking too much shit. Mekhi Wingo has 1 tackle and 1 assisted for the entire game. To me, 3 total tackles for James Houston, not 3 solo tackles like everybody was saying. He had 1 solo tackle, 2 assisted, and 1 sack. It's good to see him get a sack. I'm glad it was against the third stringers. Ukwu had a sack in the first quarter. And the other guy that showed up, did Martin get hurt? I didn't see him get hurt. He came out after the first quarter once the first string offensive line was off the field is all.
Oh, yeah. In Orlando, I'm raising your subscription fee.
Hendon Hooker went 12 of 20 for 114 yards, a touchdown, and a pick, plus a fumble loss. Jake Fromm, we saw him.
Oh, well, man. Hendon Hooker, man. Just think. You paid all that money to that bum Goff. You could have had Hooker playing.
Yeah, ain't that much.
He's excited.
Smoking dad in there. Oh, he did get hurt? Because I haven't seen anything where it says he's out. We probably won't know anything until they do that Wednesday morning.
Well, if he is hurt, at least Reader's back, so it's not going to be like you're missing a defensive tackle. Yeah, my Giants went and cut a whole bunch of players today. Josh Kelly, I can't believe they actually cut him after.
They're
He
saying
was
it's
only when it was.
a hyperextension. I was reading about the injury. That's all.
Yep. It's okay.
It has. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just saying, I can't believe the Giants went and cut Josh Kelly after he actually freaking was the only guy who was able to do anything the other day in the game. They cut him and Marcus McKenneth. Those were the two biggest names that were cut. Bunch of undrafted bums. But they did keep Bryce Ford Whedon. So now Will can get his Giants jersey.
They're saying it's very, very similar to what happened to Sam Laporta last year in Minnesota. They're going to do an MRI just to be safe to make sure there's no ligament damage. It's a hyperextension, is all it is. Why? We won't need to, is what I just said, Orlando. As long as the MRI comes back clear, he'll be fine. Maurice Alexander, yeah, he did all right, but he didn't impress the entire offseason until this game. They said it looked very similar to what happened to Laporta, where he just stepped too hard and moved the wrong way and hyperextended his knee. No contact, anything. Oh, Michael Huck, I expect, well, about half of our guys will probably be picked up by other teams, and we'll end up with enough guys falling to fill the practice squad. Guys I expect to be cut and still make it. Jefferson, I still think he's going to waivers. Zonovan McKnight really didn't wow me. Jake Funk definitely doesn't wow me. Those guys are going to clear. No, not really. I don't think it's a vet we're going to be looking for. Jake Fromm will definitely fall to the practice squad. Myself, I'm hoping they send Nate Sutfeld to the practice squad and Jake Fromm is the 3. I mean, he did go 6 of 8 for 89 yards. He had a good day. No touchdowns, no interceptions. But they're doing the MRI on Broderick Martin's knee tomorrow. The guy I'm impressed with the entire preseason out of the wide receiver room is the same one we've all been impressed with, because now he not only made, yeah, it's happening a lot. James Igabune, or Bunaway, however you say it, he had a half a sack. Ty Summers had a sack and a half. Packers trying to claim him when he never played on the active roster. Hey, look, they signed a ex-Packer, a guy that was drafted and cut in the same offseason. You can't claim him. You know what I'm saying, Von Doom?
I know what you're saying, man.
If he didn't play a game, a snap, if he didn't even so much as sniff the field, and he was cut before you guys took the field in the regular season, he is not a part of your roster. And same goes for our UDFAs that don't get a chance to play. If they're cut and they're gone, guess what? They're not a Lion. They were here for a minute and gone just as fast. It's the nature of the beast. It's a constant ebb and flow business. So, what about your Giants? What's up with them, buddy?
We cut a bunch of guys. We started making our roster cuts already today. Josh Kelly, Marcus McKinney, that dude that fumbled the freaking kickoff.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else really big. Oh, and Evan Neal is listed as our 4th string right tackle. And that makes me happy.
James Burgess says he's not a Packer. Dan won't let dudes who've been packed on the premises. That's not true. They signed Jamal Williams, so that throws that out the window.
Wait, Packers signed Jamal Williams?
Remember, we signed him.
Oh, yeah. No, I thought you meant they signed him now.
No,
I was like, I thought he was a Saint.
he's a Saint for at least this season.
Yeah.
Patty Grimes coming in saying what's up, and he goes, "From was in with the 3rd and 4th backups. They really only have 3 strings. Think about it. Offense and defense combined, that's 44 each. Multiply that by 3. There really isn't a 4th string. I hate when people say 4th string. This isn't college. You don't have 110 on the roster.
Hey, if you get a whole bunch of international players, you can get a whole bunch of waivers. So, yeah, you can have that many
You're
players.
only allowed 1 per year. Chase Burgess. Buddy Kikito, he looked like he knew how to play QB, unlike Pudfeld.
So how does Nate Sudfeld still repetitively, year after year, stay employed with you guys?
And sucks so bad. Well, we signed him the first time last year, so it's not year after year after year type shit. I told you how we got back this year. He's the reason Will Harris and Benito Jones wasn't here. He stole the thumb drive.
You know what would be messed up if that was really true?
I know. Every year, some bum we didn't want it comes back to the roster the next year because he stole the thumb drive from the other guy. Oh, that was Michael Brockers after year 1, wasn't it? Remember we talked about this.
Yeah, Brockers didn't do shit. Oh, no, Michael Brockers. Oh, yeah, dude. He was just part of that Goff trade. I think Goff said I wanted him.
No, Dan Campbell literally said he wanted him.
They played him in the wrong position.
That's the thumb drive I'm talking about, Patty. Hey, there's what Suckfeld does good. He holds a mean clipboard. And don't forget, he's basically Goff's concierge. As long as Suckfeld's on the team, Goff doesn't have to carry his own bag. Hello, Mrs. Leonard.
She's yelling at the dogs lay down.
Suckfeld needs to be with the Bears. Oh, they've got 3 of him. They've had 3 of him in the past 3 years already. Justin Fields, Nathan Peterman, and the beige water pistol at one point. I'm not wrong, Von Doom. They've had all 3 the past 3 years.
I just don't know why all the Andy Dalton heat.
He's been the beige water pistol for years. I remember when he was coming out of wasn't it TCU where he was at?
Mm-hmm.
And his nickname there was the Red Rocket. And then
Red
somebody
Rifle.
pointed out that he had a nickname after a dog's wiener, and he changed it to the Red Rifle.
Yes.
You remember that, right?
I do remember that.
Because his first year in the NFL, when he was called the Red Rocket, everybody was torching him on social media.
Yeah, it's not the best for media.
It was funny as hell. It was great for us.
Correct.
Mike the Bear fan chimes in. Good to see you, buddy. How's Micah
Oh,
Carrico doing today?
hey, Mike the Cantaloupe. How's it going?
Oh, Mike the Man, you are in total dick mode today, aren't you, sir?
I thought I was being nice.
Oh, another cantaloupe.
Mike the Cornholio.
Oh, did make for good comedy. Great, just got out of Facebook jail. Oh, that's why we haven't seen you in the comments for like a month.
Mike, don't ever say that Lions fans make you want to bash your own head off the concrete. You'll get a month ban.
No, that's what happens when you talk about Caleb Williams.
Nope, my
You like
last
to stick
30
your nails
my
in
last
your-
30-day ban was because I said Lions fans make me want to bash my own head off the freaking concrete.
It's not my fault. I didn't report you. And
Yes,
I
you
don't
did.
think I fall into the Lions fans that made you feel that way. At least not all the time.
Oh no, it was Eddie and Logan. If I had to listen to them talk, I'd rather take a freaking header off a building.
No. Have you watched that series Into the Badlands?
Yep.
I like it. I'm in the towards the end
I
of the
love
second.
that series. Netflix is dropping a new season too.
Cool. Good old Lions fans. JB Von Doom, top of the evening, man. About time you showed up, Ricky Sakat. Been a minute. I'm just playing. Oh,
Ricky's over there busy playing NCAA 24, trying to reenact Michigan winning a national championship for the last time they'll ever do it.
I'm not even going to do it. You can read Orlando's comment because it's directed towards you, anyways.
I reported them titties. They are weapons. Fuck.
Now you know why I'm just sitting here smiling the whole
Because you're both some perverts. That's why.
time. What, he likes mine too, he said.
Yeah, but you play along with him, so you're both perverts.
I don't play along. I just let you read the chat. But I showed this picture and he goes, "Oh, look, he got titties."
Especially on a cold night. What do you mean cold night? It's like 80 out right now, man. We got a heat wave going again. I'm very upset about that. I was
Yeah,
enjoying that fall weather.
I was enjoying the 60 to 75-degree weather. It,
Exactly.
it was great.
I like being able to wear a hoodie and not die of the heat stroke.
Yeah, just walking outside, I felt like I was breathing water again, like underwater without an apparatus.
Underwater without an apparatus. Okay.
That's what they call
I
motion
guess.
breathing apparatus, right? Is that not
Yes.
what the technical term of it is?
Correct.
Okay, just check. Other than that, we have. So you guys have cut probably what 10 guys already?
Yep.
I'm pretty sure ours will start falling off tonight. My dad says he wears a training bra himself. Plus one for dad. So after a
Hey,
full preseason of tape, how do you handle the KO rule as a coach when kicking it away? Risk risk a return or bash it out the back of the end zone?
bash that bitch.
Yep, bash it. Just let him start at the 30. 5 yards don't make that much of a difference. Football season starts a week from Thursday. I'm ready. Let's fucking go. Best NFC North battle of 2024 this year.
Got all the
Fromm
muscle
should
cars
be
out.
Fromm should be QB2. He
No.
just barely knows the playbook. As much as I hate to say it, I'd go Hooker, then him, then Suck Belt.
Hooker should be QB1.
Classic car night here in Grand Rapids. Metro Cruise got all the muscle cars out. That sounds like fun. I like watching muscle cars drive around. Liked it better when I was driving one. Pardon me, guys.
Let me ask you a question, JB.
Sure.
Do you think there's anyone in Detroit wishing for black ice at the stadium more than Hendon Hooker?
You're wrong. You're so wrong. Yes, one does not count against the roster, Orlando. I've been telling you that for 3 straight months now. Nobody listens.
Yeah, your
Two
emergency
active,
quarterback don't count.
2 active, and 1 emergency quarterback. He doesn't even go to the practice squad. He does not count against the roster. You get your 17 on the practice squad, you get a 54-man roster essentially. He's able to be dressed on the side and hold the computer, clipboard, whatever, the entire time, and he doesn't get to put his helmet on unless the first string quarterback gets hurt. That rule's been in place for what, 3 years now? Or 2 years? 2 years.
2 years.
Ever since Philly knocked out all the
Yeah.
QBs of San Francisco in that game, and they had to see Christian McCaffrey be the quarterback for a half. They said, "Yeah, this is never happening again."
He wasn't terrible.
He damn sure wasn't. Suckfeld looked better. He was awful,
I agree.
horrible. He was terrible on a Charles Barkley terrible level.
Terrible.
So Baki will be there. They don't allow that at every position. They usually keep 4 running backs on the roster.
As they should. That's why I think every team needs a running back that also can play wide receiver.
Like Cordarrelle Patterson.
Yeah.
Joel pops in and says hello, everyone. Hello, Joel.
He clearly reads defenses better. Eyeball.
Well, Hendon Hooker doesn't read defenses bad either. Well, when you got a second string O line protecting against a first string D line, it's going to be awfully hard to look good at all.
Hey, he still looked good, and he's hard to take down.
Ah, gotcha.
Gotcha.
Yep, we are in the home straight. 10 days. Let's see, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Technically 11 days. A week and a
Sorry,
half.
fellas.
Better.
Yep, JB had trouble counting to 11. He had to keep his pants on for this one, so he had to just kind of remember.
You said I cut my pants? Are you assuming? This
Yes, I'm
camera can't
actually
get that low. It's pants optional every day.
pants optional.
And James Burgess, I kind of agree with your assessment. I thought Hendon has looked mostly very good, and he can create when the fit hits the shan. Score prediction Rams game? I don't even know yet. I don't even know who's playing for the Rams yet. I do know that porn star Jimmy is their third string quarterback.
Yeah, but he's suspended for like the first week or something, isn't he?
What's that?
Isn't he suspended for the first week?
Who? Porn star?
Yeah.
I think he's suspended like the first 3 weeks. But
Some shit like
Stetson
that.
Bennett won the job, is what I'm saying. They already announced it.
I like Stetson Bennett anyway.
Actually, he did very good about trying to slide. The problem is there was a wide open lane in front of him. He don't have eyes in the back of his head. That's not something you can teach anybody. Unless you're going to install rear view mirrors on the side of their helmets, he's not going to know when somebody's hitting them from behind. But he was trying to get down. He just doesn't. Just like most QBs in this league, they don't know how to slide. They slide ugly. The one it looked like he was sliding. The Rams starting left tackle is suspended. Jonah
Yep.
Jackson is hurt, going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. Puka Nakua, there's still no word if he's going to be back.
Did you see his brother had over 100 yards receiving today?
Yeah. And
Samson.
Puka Nakua is still dealing with a swollen kneecap from the bursitis layer being bursted. So we don't know. We don't know who's starting in a week and a half or 2 weeks from today. We just don't know. And Hendon is fun to watch. Plus, they don't have Aaron Donald anymore. That has to be like the biggest thing because Aaron Donald slowly works his way away from Sewell to be able to get pressure on this whole line.
Sometimes I forget Aaron Donald retired already. He was nowhere near the end of his career.
No, but you know what he said? I might as well get out while I can still do everything. I've made enough money.
Yeah, he did.
So anybody who's like that, who's making the most money ever, while they can still walk, talk, and chew bubble gum at the same time, they might as well quit the game.
That was like Patrick Willis. Played, what, 5 years and retired?
Yeah, and he had a concussion every year he was in. That's why he quit. After the whole concussion movie thing came out, he was like, "Yeah, I'm done."
Oh, speaking of concussions, Denzel Ward, he had his 5th one in like 3 years and still saying he wants to continue.
And according to the CTE protocol, he's not supposed to be able to.
Yep, but they're all going to depend if the doctor clears him to play or not.
And this is where the NFL is going to bite themselves in the butt. This is where they should step in and say, "Hey, the CTE protocol says after X amount of concussions in 3 years, you can't play for a year." Lindresian cranium syndrome. Yep. And I thought that number was 3 because that's what they keep saying about Tua. If he has another concussion within the 3 years, Lindrosian. Ah, okay. Yeah, it helps when it's spelled right. I might pronounce it right.
Lindrosian.
Lindrosian. Yavor Commandant. Sounds like a Russian thing.
Yeah, but I think it's more like Eric Lindros.
But Mikai Wingo, while he did pretty good, he did something that I'm sitting there, I'm going, okay, Broderick Martin's double team. Wingo bull rushes through the line. The guy with the ball's right in front of him. He sidesteps him to get to the quarterback. Listen to the words I'm talking about here. The guy with the ball's right here in front of you, like face to face. He sidesteps him to get to the quarterback.
Maybe he didn't realize he had the ball.
The guy's right in front of you. The ball's in his belly. And the reason why Mikai was free is it was a halfback draw. The quarterback was faking that he was going to be throwing a pass, handed it off to the guy in front of him with no one in between him and the running back. I just don't get it. He ran by him and then realized the quarterback didn't have the ball and was like, oops.
Maybe he thought he had a red jersey on. He wasn't supposed to make contact.
The running back had the ball.
I know. I'm making a joke.
I know. I don't get it because I'm sitting there saying, no. I'm not making a joke about it. I think it's an absolutely pitiful play. It led to a touchdown run. That was that one while Russell Fields is on there. And then we allowed Justin Fields to hit a tight end over the middle for a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
And James Rizzo goes, yeah, I recall the play. It was a classic fake out the rookie moment. Hey, at least he had the awareness to stop before he hit the quarterback, unlike that Seahawks linebacker that did that to Goff the year before. Remember that?
That guy was the real MVP of that game.
Why? Because he hit Goff?
Yep.
Oh, Jesus. Man, you just have all sorts of height.
He's my second least favorite player in the league.
Oh, look at this. Debbie Arrow. The NFC North is about to experience the wrath of DJ Reader. Crush, kill, destroy. Go Lions. Great show, Jeremy and Von Doom. Thank you, Debbie.
I just hope DJ Reader's knees can hold up, honestly. If they're healthy,
It wasn't a knee.
his knees were the reason he didn't get re-signed with the Bengals.
It was a quad.
Same thing. It's because
No,
of
it's
his
not.
fat ass holding too much weight.
The quads are the back of your leg, dude.
I know what the quad is, man. I'm just being an asshole because I thought it was his knee. But either way, it's because he's holding too much goddamn weight. If he
And
dropped like 50 pounds, he'd be good.
he dropped like 20 in the offseason. DJ Danger Zone. +1 Debbie.
Just one time, I want freaking Brad Holmes to just go get a big free agent that's not injury.
Oh,
That's not like injured.
So the Chicago lost again to Detroit today to get their 100th loss, huh? In baseball,
Yep.
or quad is the front, whatever. It's still above the knee. It's not the kneecap. It's not the ACL, MCL, PCL. Quads, hamstrings, whatever. I don't care. I just know it's not the knee. It was a quad tear he got in week. God, I want to say it was week 11, 12.
Good. Most random text message I just got. It says, "Do you know who was annoying? NWO Hulk Hogan. Like out of nowhere. No context, just that."
Yes, 100 losses, and it's still fucking August. James Burgess. The White Sox have lost 100 Major League Baseball games, and the Tigers gave them their 98th, 99th, and 100th loss in consecutive fashion.
And the White Sox made no sense. They didn't trade away anybody to freaking get prospects and try to rebuild. Outside of Tommy Pham.
Yeah, that's the only trade they made.
Yeah, Blue Bob's still there. Garrett Crochet's still there. Why?
We moved on from somebody at least. That's all I got to say. Just not the right people. We should have moved on from Baez at the offseason, so it would have saved us money.
I don't know what the hell your GM's thinking. I think the guy's legitimately on meth and just takes players out of a hat that he's getting rid of.
I know exactly what he's thinking. He works for an owner that doesn't care.
You're not wrong, but you traded Flattery for a bag of chips.
A shortstop and a top 25 pitcher, prospect wise.
He wasn't a top 25 prospect at all. He's not even in the top 100.
Hmm. I know one of them was considered top 25, right?
Last year.
Okay. Because they talked about it. That is the only reason why I know that. I don't follow baseball. I've told you this.
I get that. We talked about it enough because we were all banging our heads against the wall. Like, what the hell is this guy thinking? We offered way more than that from other teams. Shit, Baltimore offered a haul for Scooble, and they said no. Like,
Yes,
if you're gonna get rid
right before the All-Star break was when that broke,
of,
wasn't it, Von Doom?
yes,
When I told you what was in it, you said you take that deal and you run.
100%, you take that deal and you run.
And when they decided not to, I said, "You watch, we're trading Flaherty." And you goes, "Who's going to trade for him?" I said, "You watch, somebody will because it's a 1 year rental. You got to re-sign him the next year, so it's a 1 year rental with Flaherty. There's no extra length of contract control. That's why you don't get much for him." And then we traded Canna and somebody else for a couple bags of chips.
It's shit
I
like that
understand
doesn't
James
make sense
Burgess.
to me.
I understand that, James Burgess. I'd have taken the Scooble Hall too. Well, it did make sense to get rid of Canna and the other guy. They were 1 year rentals too that were doing good on the team. Get rid of them and get prospects to make it better for the future.
That I'm talking about. Yes, you get rid of those guys. But why do you hold Scooble if you're not going to add somebody to try to win now?
Yoli Cruz in the chat. Hello there, Top Huddle Sports fan.
How many bottles of wine have you had already this week, Yoli?
Yeah, considering she probably has to go back and teach school next week or the week after, she's probably had
Oh, mine started back this week. That's why I was saying that.
three. She teaches.
Exactly. That's why she needs the
She's
wine.
loading up before. That way she can handle the first day. Come on, Badu. That was good.
It was.
Yeah. 37 minutes, no guests, nobody's showing up. Everybody just doesn't want to talk football. Must be a game on right now, is there?
I don't know. I was only paying attention to baseball lately.
Oh, yeah, it's the Patriots versus Commanders, and the Patriots are winning. Commanders still suck.
Goddamn commies.
Just being an ass.
Is Joe Milton putting on a show?
No, but I'll tell you, Bo Nix put on a show.
Yes, he did.
Titans beat the Saints. Yep, Saints are trash. They're staying in there. Seahawks beat the Brownies. Jets beat the Giants in the battle for New Jersey. They retain ownership another season.
That's fine. They can keep it for another season. I don't want a winning season. You know this.
Chargers beat the Cowboys because Trey Lance is a bum.
Yo, can you name one defensive back on the Chargers?
No, that's why I'm trying to figure out who he threw 5 interceptions to.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh
And
God,
Jerry Jones still saying he does not regret giving up a 4th-round pick and taking on that contract. You're out of your freaking mind, you old senile.
the
Yeah.
Panthers beat the Bills.
So, did you actually watch that game?
No, was it good?
Bryce Young looked legit.
Oh, he was 6 of 8 for 70 yards and a touchdown. Not
Yeah,
bad.
like he was moving in the pocket. He wasn't trying to like just run for his life. He was looking downfield.
Yeah,
I was actually very impressed with him. That coach Cano actually got his shit together for him.
he even got Terrence Marshall Jr. a touchdown.
So I hate that he went to the Panthers. I actually really liked Terrence Marshall Jr.
I still do. If I was going, Trey Lance is a force for a change of possession. That edge. That's a good one. And he says the Commanders are on in the other room. Yeah, that was actually pretty good for them. But let's see. We just talked about the Panthers beating Bills. The Texans beat the Rams. And after being down 14-0 after the first quarter, because the first stringers played our backups, Lo and behold, the Lions win versus the Steelers 24-17. The Packers dismantled the Ravens defense 30-7. The Vikings dismantled the Beagles 26-3. And I don't get it. I don't get that at all. Because top to bottom, that roster is supposed to be really good, and they couldn't do shit. And for the first time this preseason, we had a game end in a tie. The 49ers versus the Raiders. 24-24.
Let's go Raiders.
Yeah, they tied with the runner-up to the Super Bowl. We already know that the Bears held on to beat the Chiefs. The Jaguars blanked the Falcons. Shut them out.
Who was playing quarterback for the Falcons?
I'm going to look right now. Let me go look.
I believe it was Taylor Heineke. Because Kirko Chains, I think, still out, and Penix is going to sit the bench until he's 30.
Okay, for the Falcons, yep, it was Taylor Heineke and Paddock. Trevor Lawrence was 8 of 10 for 92 yards and 2 touchdowns. So they played their starter.
I don't like the idea of playing the starter in the third game.
Yeah, not in the third game. In the first one or two, of course. I don't mind it at all. That's where I want that to happen. But
oh, speaking of that, the Giants played our starting center in this freaking game, and now he's hurt again. John Michael Schmidt.
oh, that's right. It's because the Jaguars won 2 and they want to start that Ravens type of thing where they can dominate in the preseason and not make the Super Bowl. Come on, that was funny. You like that one, Bondu. Matt Henry, good evening, gentlemen. I heard the Bears are taking on that same role too. They want to be preseason champs every year. That's not as funny?
No.
Oh, okay. Because that's what they were. 4-0 this preseason. 4-0 preseasons are never good for the team that does it.
See, that's not exactly true. In the past 16 years, 4 of the teams that have freaking went 4-0 in the preseason have won the Super Bowl. So that's 25%. That ain't bad.
Who was the one that went 4-0 and won the Super Bowl out of the last 4 years?
I don't know.
Because I distinctly remember we went 4-0 one preseason, the Lions, and went 0-16. And then 3 or 4 years later,
Great year, wasn't it?
3 or 4 years later, the Browns did the exact same thing. There's
That was a
more
great year,
evidence
too.
of ending in last place being the preseason champ.
No, that's just because it's the Lions and the Browns, who are historically basement dwellers, that explains why that happened.
Eh. All
It
right.
was just enough to get the little hope up for the fans to take the paper bags off, and then bam, haha, tricked you.
The last time Minnesota won all 4 of their preseason games, they were in the basement of the division. Last time the Packers won 4, which was a long time ago. A long, long time ago. They were in the basement. Doesn't mean you go winless. I'm just saying there's a lot of evidence where people go to the basement after they win their preseasons. And Matt Henry says, we ain't going to the Super Bowl this year. And he is a Bears fan. No,
Wouldn't it
I'm
be
not
some shit
saying
if they did, though?
that's what I was getting at, Matt Henry. There's only a couple of teams that have gone winless, and now that there's 17 games, it's going to be even harder to do.
Wouldn't it be some shit, though, if a team did go to the freaking... If the Bears did go to the Super Bowl, though?
Not really. 'Cause I wouldn't
I
hear
think
the end of it.
you would never hear the end of it. Caleb Williams would be Jesus Christ himself.
I know how they get there. It's if Caleb Williams gets injured and Secret Agent Man takes him.
Nah.
Just saying, he's thrown way more touchdowns in the preseason than Caleb Williams has.
He's also played way more than Caleb Williams, too, though.
He had 7 drives and he didn't throw 1 touchdown. Not
He did
elite.
2 throws. He did throw a touchdown.
No, he did not throw a touchdown this preseason unless he did it in this last game.
I don't think you're right there.
Through
Double
3
check.
games, no, he rushed for a touchdown. He did not throw for a touchdown, Von Doom. We talked about it. We made fun of it.
Double check for me, please.
Through 3 games, he had 0 touchdowns on 7 drives. I've checked the stats 18 times in the last week and a half. I know what they are. Ask Matt Henry. He talked about it. Oh, I know Matt Henry. Minnesota has felt like they got bit by the injury bug the size of Jaws.
So Minnesota hasn't mattered since Randy Moss left.
Ooh. Yeah, well, they mattered 1 year when they were the
No, they didn't.
most since the Pittsburgh Steelers.
They were the biggest fraud team since the Steelers, yes. Like, come on. You let my bum-ass Giants freaking beat you in the playoffs.
I
They
know.
didn't matter.
I
They
know.
did not matter. God. Bums. Frauds.
That's because Kirk O'Shaughnessy decided to throw it to T.J. Hawkinson 3 yards short of the first down marker on a 4th down play. The guy that never breaks a tackle. I'm not wrong.
I don't even care. I don't even care if Kirk Cousins does that or not. Kirk Cousins is still one of my favorite quarterbacks. He's just Kirk Cousins.
Yes, Minnesota has had a tragic offseason. And Matt Henry, all equals still keep on losing. You're absolutely right. I wonder where he heard that.
I don't know, some jackass.
Probably.
JD, did you figure out when we're doing that thing, what we talked about for Cam?
We're doing that Friday.
Okay.
This Friday coming up. Because there's no games, there's no real news going to be out other than a bunch of cuts, and that'll be beat to death by the time Friday gets here.
Gotcha.
Gotta go for a bit. My shift change will be here shortly. Hand pink waving. Hello, fucking goodbye. Man, I know your expectations are not high when your starting QB is Sam Darnold. Woo. Yeah, you're not shooting shots there. That's like speaking gospel. I do know a Minnesota fan that thinks they're making the playoffs this year.
Hey, they could always trade for Mac Jones. He had a great preseason quarterback rating.
You know what? Has Green Bay drafted Love's replacement yet? No. No, what we said is if they have a bad year, I could see them having to do that. But they didn't have a bad year. They had a very good year. They won 9 games, made the playoffs, and beat the other most fraudulent team since, let's think, since 1997. No, they have not even made a cut yet, Eric. There has been no cuts made by the Lions. Greg Rice, the stat master. What's up, Jeremy Ballrick? Hope all is well, man. I am happy, just tired. Been a long night.
So, Greg, do you think Hutch will ever be as good as the guys from Ohio State and Myles Garrett?
Yes. Oh, you were asking Greg. Sorry.
That'd be the smart ass. He said something in the chat earlier. I had to get on that. I'm like, I'm sorry, Hutch is not as talented as Myles Garrett physically,
No,
or Nick Bosa physically. He's just a high effort guy. That's what it is. He's got a ton of heart, and you can't knock him from that. Just physically, he's not the same animal.
no, he's not the same size of anyone.
Exactly.
Suckbelt can go suck an egg. I hope he's fired. I hope they jettison him from a cannon in the next 24 hours. But more than likely, it'll be we cut Jake Fromm. I'm
They're
just
gonna
saying.
cut Hendon Hooker.
They're not cutting Hendon Hooker.
They should.
Nope.
It's mean to just keep that guy sitting behind that bum quarterback guy.
And it's just mean for you to not admit that he's been 10 times the quarterback Daniel Jones has been.
Daniel Jones is 100 times the athlete that he is.
10 times
And
the
yes,
quarterback.
I worded that properly. Athlete.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't disagree with that. But as far as a quarterback, Jared Goff is 10 times the quarterback.
Only because he's got a good offensive line.
And good weapons and a good running game and a good defense.
Your
But,
defense isn't good yet. You can't even say it's a good defense.
oh,
So they were
it's
shit.
a good defense. Look at what they did in the run game. Don't say it wasn't a good defense. One
How
part of
many
it,
points did they give up a game, though?
that's because of the passing defense.
Exactly. It's a defense as a whole. You can't just pick and choose, man. Cherry picking ain't how it works.
We were the third best rushing defense. That's why you guys couldn't beat us.
Yeah, but what was your defense rank as a whole?
22nd.
Exactly. That's not good.
I know how bad the passing defense was. I'm not saying it wasn't bad.
Wait a minute. Hey, time out. Let's think about this here. If the rush defense was third and the overall defense is 22nd, so the passing defense was 50th?
If it mathematically impossible, but they were the 22nd overall defense because of how many yards the passing game gave up. It was 29th in the league.
Okay. I'll give you with that. They had a good running defense.
Yes. Which meant the front four knows how to stop people from getting past it. Because your secondary can't be tackling all the time and your run defense be good. We've
What are you
talked
talking
about.
about, man? Your secondary just couldn't tackle for shit.
I know.
Like Scooby-Doo. I know.
Roll.
What the fuck? I am not Shaggy. Fuck you.
Roar.
Well, fuck you. Then you ain't allowed to be fucking Scooby now. You can be like Velma or something like that.
Roll away.
Make you Daphne.
No, it wouldn't make me Daphne. Stop.
Roll. I don't want to read who he wants to rock.
My wife's just asshole mode over here with her little smart ass comments.
I know. I love it. Great. Makes for good comedy.
I know that's why you can get away with saying shit.
JP doesn't believe half the time you say I said something.
Yeah, exactly. I tell you, she says this shit. No, she wouldn't say that. Bullshit.
I heard it this
She's
time.
being the smart ass. Exactly. You heard it this time.
We don't want to be Relma. Rudy Banky ass.
Yeah, she's been saying for months that somebody needs to take your soundboard away, not me.
Just for that.
You have too much power at your fingertips.
Oh, you know what I think about that opinion?
Yeah, I hope you fall down a pipe.
Every time they split up to be Fred and the girls go one way, Scoob and Shag go the other. They would hit the commercial break. When they came back, Scoob and Shag always had the munchies. Coincidence? I think not. Roll Roy, Ruby Rack.
You cannot tell me that the Scooby snacks were not magic mushrooms. Think about it. They always ate the Scooby snacks, and then they saw these ghosts and shit, and they always had the munchies. Smoking a little weed ain't gonna freaking make you see ghosts. Some mushrooms might, though.
It had to be both.
They're microdosing.
I remember they were always hungry.
Is
They
Mike
were
White
always.
from the Dolphins better than Suckbelt? Mike was released.
Yes,
Yes. Yes.
man. White Mike is great.
White Mike. Mike White.
I said what I said. He's White Mike. You remember when he was with the Jets and he had freaking a 400-yard freaking game?
Yeah. When Zach Wilson was out,
Yep.
Garrett Wilson was 220 of it.
Garrett Wilson, man. That guy just built different.
I know.
Good. Look at this. Garrett Wilson, his first 2 years in the league, 1,000 yards each season with a pile of dog shit throwing him the ball both years. Could you imagine with a prime Aaron Rodgers what he would do?
Boy, the primary Aaron Rodgers, he'd be the next Devontae Adams. The problem is you don't know what Aaron Rodgers you're getting.
You know what? I kind of agree with you there, but granted, he's old as shit now, and he's been injured for the year. I still think he's going to be more like old Aaron Rodgers than Peyton Manning was old Peyton Manning, if that makes sense.
You know what I
Like when
think?
he came back and his neck was broke.
You know what I'm going to think going to happen? You remember when they showed like 50 years in the future and Bart was an adult and he goes to the Super Bowl and here is Brett Favre about to throw the ceremonial football. He's going to it's going to drop at his feet. Remember that?
Yup, that's fucked up.
That's funny.
Oh, but anyway, I made that Mac Jones comment for a reason. He had the highest QBR of any quarterback in preseason.
Yeah, he said that.
And the coach goes, Mac has been playing great, but every once in a while he still goes back to his Patriot ways. And that made me crack the hell up.
Yeah, I know. Just on Lions fam, he might be an option to get Suckfeld off the team. 100% he would be. I would love it if we picked up Mike White and cut Suckfeld. Not gonna lie, that would make my day. Ask Leonard how I feel about Suckfeld and how long I hated him.
Almost as much as I hate Goff and Geno Smith.
Oh, come on. You can't hate Goff as much as you do Geno Smith.
There's a difference. I hate Goff more as a quarterback. I hate Geno Smith more as a person. If that makes it
That
any
makes
better.
no sense whatsoever.
Yes, it does.
No,
Yes, it does.
not the thing me.
How does that not make sense?
I don't get it.
Oh, easy. Because Goff cost me like 25 grand as a straight up heads up bet on a Super Bowl. That's why I hate Jared Goff.
Oh Jesus! So you got a gambling problem, is what you're saying, is why you hate Jared Goff. But at the same
100%.
time, if you watch that fucking game, it wasn't Jared Goff's fault they lost.
I don't care. He could have thrown a more catchable ball. You blame the quarterback.
You blame the wide receiver for when it hits you in the hands and you don't catch it.
I
And
blame the quarterback for throwing it to that bum.
wide receiver. He threw it to three of his primary targets.
Fuck him.
Threw it to Brandon Cook, Josh Reynolds, and Gerald Everett.
Should have ran that shit in him goddamn self.
Not from 60 yards out. You want Goff to run?
If he had balls and athleticism, he could have done it.
We don't have
And I
athleticism.
I know he doesn't. And I hate Geno Smith just because Geno Smith had the unfortunate luck of getting signed to the Giants and then Ben Mack, a douchebag, freaking putting him in to break Eli Manning's consecutive start streak. And I'll never forgive him for that. I never want to see him win a game. I never want to see him happy in his life, ever.
I saw it, Chris. You know, every QB that gets cut this offseason, you're going to see those memes and stuff come out from Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, I don't know how I feel about them. Like, sometimes they put out some funny stuff, and it's really, like, actually makes sense. But the other times I'm like, guys, it's just a bunch of homers.
Right. They're a bunch of homers, and they have such unrealistic takes. It isn't funny sometimes.
Exactly.
Uh, James Burgess, Sudfeld, and Ace on the tape review.
Hey,
And
we got
Debbie
J-Bag
Arrow,
Nathan
I
to join in
agree.
here.
It's Jake from State Farm.
Jake from State Farm.
Hearing you say it like that, that's funny.
Dude, I don't care. I actually liked Jake Fromm when he was coming out of college.
I did too. It was a damn shame he went where he went because they kind of ruined him.
Yeah, Buffalo is not the place for him.
Yeah. Wow. Now we're into what we got to talk about. What else you got for me, Von Doom? Anything out of the NFC East other than the fact that Trey Lance is worse than Nate Sudfeld?
That's really hard to do, but let's see. Oh, Darren Bland is out for 5 to 8 weeks with a knee
Oh.
injury.
So they get rid of Gilmore because Deron Bland's the guy, and Deron Bland goes down. So now they got to go sign somebody, and Stephen Gilmore just got signed by the Vikings this past week.
Yeah, they'll be fine. It's only like 5 to 8 weeks. He'll be back mid-season. Probably still lead the team in interceptions anyway.
Well, that's a given because ever since Trayvon Diggs learned how to actually cover, he doesn't get interceptions anymore. He
I
finally.
think it's just no. It's just a family thing. They forgot how to catch the ball. Him and his brother both.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Also, we're just talking about the Diggs family there. Who else believes that Stephon Diggs is going to ruin the Texans?
I think he's going to be a wide receiver 3 that ends up being traded in the midseason part.
I can see it, but man, that guy is just a terrible freaking person. He's yelling at freaking CJ Stroud in a freaking preseason game. You're like, what the hell are you doing, man?
Hey, I got a hypothetical my friend just put out on Facebook, and he's a business guy, right? I
Sure.
have an employee we hired 3.5 years ago. She hasn't followed through with anything she said she would. We just did a performance review, and based on our original contract, she is eligible for a promotion in November. During the review, she said that if she gets promoted, she would do all the things she initially promised to get the job. It seems she has no interest in doing the things promised currently, but that appears to be holding out on them in order to get the promotion. What would you do asking for the entire United States of America?
Drowned her.
I
Yeah.
I would hire the guy that would go in her office and tell her she's fired. How
Uh-huh.
about you?
Yeah.
I think that would be the justifiable means to the end.
Dude, RFK earlier tonight came out and said that there are Democrats that are allies to Trump right now, and you will all hear about it soon. And I was like, what?
Yeah, it actually already came out about RFK on the news before you said that today. I would hire Vince McMahon to tell her you're fired.
Vince McMahon, man, no, I can't even go into the Vince McMahon thing, man. We can't use him as anything in a semi-positive light after what he's going through right now. He didn't bust his knees or his shins. He jumped into the ring and tore both his quads at the same time.
Yeah. When he put the no crying about the bag, son. You got me like
I can't tell you to be quiet about the and complain about the loud bag sounds because I got you noisy snacks. Okay, sounds fair.
I don't care.
Oh no, that's what she said to me.
A gun guy said, "Tell her to take your pants off." No, he did what?
Yeah, how do you know they're not already off? There's a reason
No,
I'm not on camera.
the one that needs to be fired.
There's a reason we got 5 kids. You win the night.
There is a reason you guys have 5 kids. His pants are hardly ever on unless he's working. Am I wrong?
so many pants we need to be off.
Okay, that's enough.
Come on, say that a little louder, Mrs. Leonard. The viewers couldn't hear you.
She said, "You forget the kids come out of hers, so whose pants really need to be off here?"
Both for it to be a good time. Oh,
That's why pants have zippers.
you wear pants with zippers?
Oh yes, JB. Sometimes I'm an adult. I have to wear pants that have a belt and a zipper, and they look presentable. I can't just wear board shorts and sleep pants all the time like I'd like.
I do.
No shit. If I could, I really would. If I could go to work in like my sleep shorts, I 100% would.
So James Houston got a sack in the 4th quarter yesterday. So he was playing against the worst of the other team before he showed up and did anything. Matthew Betts had one taken away because Josh Pascal hold. Pascal had a good run stop held taken away because Martin held. Ukwu his sack stuck. The 1.5 by Ty Summers, where he was assisted by James Igwe Bunaway, or however you say it. So he had a half a sack. And James Wingo and Mikai Wingo. I gotta go look at that game again because I don't want to misquote myself here. I want to be accurate. I want to be fair, even though I just want to
Do it.
pull my hair out over it.
Say what you're thinking. Wingo's a bum.
Yeah, I wanted to. Yeah, I think he's a bum. I don't think he's ready. He's a rookie. He needs to be 4th or 5th string defensive tackle. He's not ready to be on the field as a starter. There.
There's a reason he was like a 3rd or 4th round pick.
Yeah. There. Yeah. Being a pain in the dick tonight. Let's see. Player stats defensively in this game. Mikai Wingo had 1 tackle and 1 assisted tackle, so 2 tackles total. Josh Pascal ended up with 2 assisted tackles. Because everybody forgets Gilmore made the initial hit behind the line to make the running back start to fall towards uh, Stephen Gilmore, the UDFA. Jalen Guidry had 4 tackles. Isang Bassey actually had 2 tackles and an assisted one for 3 total tackles. Mitchell Agood was just okay. Stephen Gilmore led the team in tackles yesterday with 5. I don't see why everybody's gooing over James Houston finally showing up against some third stringers.
I can actually see why. Because they're hoping that maybe he's getting back to what he was.
He's not.
And you know what? If he is able to become what he was showing he was going to be before he got hurt, then hell yeah, you keep him on the roster. Freaking take Davenport, stick his ass on injured reserve because that's where he's going to end up by week 3 anyway. And then you keep him in best, and there you go.
I think we need to keep Uku and Betts more than Houston. That's just my opinion on it.
Because you don't like Houston.
No, I loved Houston. I don't like the fact of what he's coming back from, and he'll never be the same again.
He will if he finds DDP yoga. And I'm not even being a smartass. Look at the people that guy's helped. Guys are broken, and now they're freaking moving. Jake the Snake Roberts and shit like that.
I'm worried he'll never be the same. That's what I'm worried about. It has nothing to do with the player. I love the story. I love the player. I loved what he did his rookie year. As soon as I heard he broke his ankle and had to have that surgery to have it repaired, I was ready to put him on medically waived and gone for good. Because I've seen what it's done to people around his age. Ukwu has been in the mix a lot. I hope we can keep our paws on him. Me too. But letting Betts play against the second stringers means that they trusted him more than they did James Houston. So that's something else to think about. I'm just not going all goo goo gaga over guys that finally showed out in the last game of the year when there's a chance when they were said they were on the bubble. I'm just not that guy. Like Maurice Alexander finally having a decent game. Yeah, because he knows Isaiah Williams is taking his spot. And Isaiah Williams still had a game. That's what's funny. And I would not keep Maurice Alexander over DPJ.
You wouldn't keep him over DPJ.
No.
Huh. Okay.
Maurice Alexander will not. Maurice Alexander will not block in the run game at all. And he does not make contested catches. Who do I think the surprise keeps and cuts will be? I think the surprise keep is Houston. They're going to keep him because he had one good game, one day where he shined for a minute over somebody. Whether it's
Yo, buddy.
I don't know.
Hey, buddy. I got to go.
Yep.
All right, man. I'll talk to you later.
Yep.
Good night, folks. Bye-bye.
Good night, sir. I would not be surprised if DPJ gets cut, but I think he's going to stay because of the way Dan Campbell talks about him. Martin, hyperextended knee, he'll be fine. But right now, our defensive tackle room, we're stuck with Wingo because Chris Smith is trash. And the other guy we picked up got hurt. Cornerback room, I still think it's everybody I said. I give Dorsey a slight edge over Vildor. Carlton Davis, Amik Robertson, Terrion Arnold, Ennis Rakestraw, Leo Dorsey. Everybody else can go bye-bye. Linebacker room, I don't think anybody really did enough to trump JRM or Malcolm Rodriguez yet. But if they put Malcolm Rodriguez on the 4-week IR because he's not back healthy, I think we end up keeping Ty Summers. So Manu had 2 holds, was very good pass blocking, but run blocking was bad. Sorsdahl gave up 3 sacks and got a good grade off of PFF, and I don't get that. Uh, let's see. Let me think. I think there's no surprises in the safety room. It's Branch, Kirby, Iffy, Brendan Joseph. Everybody else kind of just was there. Tackles, Decker, Sewell, of course, up front. I think it's going to end up being Manu and Skipper or Manu and Sorsdahl. I don't think Manu ends up off the roster. I think either Sorsdahl or Skipper will be the odd man out. And more than likely, Sorsdahl. Unless they use Sorsdahl more at guard. Because he wasn't that good the first 2 games at tackle, and he kind of wasn't that good this one. And James Verzico says, I can safely say that you're on the mark so far from what I've been seeing. Running back room, Monty, Gibbs, Reynolds, Vaki. I haven't moved off of that. I'm not going to. So Bates missed one and made one. It is what it is. So he's missed 1 field goal out of 7 attempts. That's pretty good. I just didn't like where he missed the one from. That one from 30 yards. That it doesn't make sense for me. Let me see. Wide receivers: Amon Ra, Jamison Williams, Khalif Raymond, Isaiah Williams, and I'm torn. Do we keep a guy that showed out for 1 game, or do we keep a guy that can run block? I think we keep the guy that run block. I think it's going to be DPJ. And if we do keep a 6th, Maurice Alexander might just make the roster. Tight ends. Oh, we know it's Laporta, Brock Wright. That's a given. I think it's a torn between Zylstra and Hest, and I think Mitchell's the odd man out. I heard more about Zylstra and Hest than I did from Mitchell, and that's where I'm at on that. Guards, well, we know who's up front. That's Glasgow, Zietler. Um, Here's the thing: they could keep Skipper, move Sorsdahl to guard because Coyote Awasika did not have a great camp or preseason. And then you could go Sorsdahl and Mahogany now that Mahogany's back and practicing too. And then it's whether or not you keep an extra center. Because remember, they were rotating Glasgow to center. It is what it is. Yep, exactly. Bates can have the job, just work on the short putting game with the coach. So let's see. He's hit what? 57, 54, and 55 this preseason in game situations. Wow. You know Jack Fox is the punter. Is everybody going to be mad if we don't go out and get somebody in the wide receiver room, though? Be honest. Out of all of our backup centers, and we know Frank the Tank's at center. If we do keep one, I think it's Duke Clemens. He by far was the most consistent all preseason. Kingsley Egekun was up and down. Bruce Holden, he just wasn't that good. And that's where I'm at. That's where I think we sit with the roster. QB, I don't know who's the two. But right now, if it was me, it would be Goff, Hooker, and From. But it's not me. And from what Dan Campbell said, it's probably going to be Goff, Hooker, and Suckbelt. All I know is that video or pictures on the thumb drive must be pretty incriminating. Yeah, the one that I'm hoping we pick up, because personally I could care less if Jalen Calhoun stays on the roster or not. Caden Davis had a great one play, but mostly did nothing all off season. Hakeem Butler, the kid out of the UFL. I like that kid. 6'5", 440 guy. Jumps out of the gym. Calvin-esque size type receiver. Weighs about 225. By the way, Trevor Nowatzki makes the cut for Arizona. They love him there. They're absolutely goo-goo over Trevor. Zach Morton probably made the Packers squad. He had 2 sacks in 2 games. Former Lion UDFA last season. From the Akron Zips. Two guys that I said all last preseason I wanted to make the team. And that's where I'm at with Uku and Betts. And watch, they're not going to make the team. I would love the surprise cut to be Houston, but I just feel like he did just enough for everybody to go, oh, good, he's back. No surprise on Nowatzki there. My cousin lives in Arizona, and they love him. I know. But Zach Morton, the kid from the Zips, the defensive player of the year last year for the MAC that I told, or 2 years ago. JB, my brother, how you doing? Paul Jones in the house. Just talking a little bit, not doing a lot of details on the game. I'm going to save that for tomorrow morning. May the good Lord bless your home, my friend. Thank you. This weekend was kind of good. Caught a lick. Went out, had some fun. Mostly slept. God, I needed to sleep. Watched some Netflix. Now I'm talking some football. I took a day off yesterday. Betts better make it. He's more useful than Houston. And Sudfeld, man, I just do not understand why he's still there. I know. He had one call back because Pascal held. I was so sick when I heard that because I was like, Betts. And then I heard penalty, and I'm like, fuck. Betts and Uku. Both of them are sack machines. I was so happy that Houston finally showed he might be able to do something. I know. I know. He passed my eye test. What did I say? He had a nose to be around the football. And every time he moved upfield, guess where the ball was? Where he was at. I I don't get the low grades on PFF and stuff like that. I don't get it. I don't get the high grades that they gave for somebody that did one great play. No, yeah, I don't want to practice Quaduku. 100%. We got to go over a few. I should talk about the Bears game. This is the NFC North. I should talk about all the games in the North, is what I should do. Because, hey, a good host would do that. Oh, yeah. Too much depth is a great thing to have. So we know the Thursday game was Bears versus Chiefs. We know that Douglas Coleman II went down with an injury at Arrowhead Stadium, was taken away by ambulance. I heard the next day his extremities were moving, but it is a neck injury. And they had to do more test results to see how bad it is. And let's go to the Vikings game. Jaron Hall had a game. I think he earned that backup spot. But Matt Corral came in at the end of the fourth quarter, and he went 4 for 6 for 13 yards. No picks, no interceptions. Came in garbage time. But Jaron Hall went 17 of 25 for 189 yards and 2 touchdowns. Tanner McKee, who'd that happen to? The injury? That was Derek Coleman II on Thursday night in the Bears game versus the Chiefs. He's a defensive back, number 38. He made a big tackle, and his neck kind of went sideways when he tackled him, and he laid on the ground motionless, was hauled off by an ambulance. Kenny Pickett actually went 6 of 9, and Will Greer played too. But nobody on that offense really did anything. Let's see. The Bay City boy, Ben Van Sumeren, that went to Michigan State, had 5 tackles, 1 assisted, and a sack in the game for the Eagles. Just when I see that name, I got to say something. Man, they had Julian Aquara had a sack, just like he does every preseason for us. Teron Jackson had a sack. It looks like they just went in there and had a sack fest. So 293 yards to the Eagles, 253 yards, 4.3 yards per play to 4.2. Right. I'm glad he's moving everything too. It was horrific to see. Not gonna lie. Um, there was 2 sacks by Minnesota, 4 sacks by the Eagles. Uh, 8 penalties against the Vikings, 7 against the Eagles, 67 yards and 46. Sounds like it was more of the PI. Is Romeo Aquara even playing? No, he is couch surfing at home. But the time of possession, 35:55 to 24:05. So they pretty much had it for 3 quarters. And then the Packers dismantled the Ravens 30-7. I think they had Dennis O'Leary, the guy that sings the asshole song. I'm an asshole. Yo, yo. No, that ain't it. Devin Leary. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. 6 of 13 for 34 yards and 2 interceptions. Yeah, he had a great game. As for the Ravens, Josh Johnson, 5 of 7, 71, and their one touchdown. And then Emory Jones, a UDFA I never heard of. Yeah, so Romeo is playing, but it's Madden, not NFL. Yes, yes, 100%. With the Packers, we saw Matt Pratt go 8 of 12 for 80 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. Sean Clifford goes 6 of 14 for 53 yards and a touchdown. Oh, Mosby had a sack. Hmm. So that's pretty much the summary of the AFC North games. So let's go, or NFC North games. Let's go to the AFC East. Just talked about the Eagles. We talked about the Giants. The only one left to talk about is the Foreskins, and they're playing right now, and they're down 10-3. Drake May is 13 of 20 for 126 yards and a touchdown. Josh Brissett is 2 of 4 for 19 yards. And oof, Joe Milton proving why he was a day 3 pick. He's 1 of 7. But he is the guy that's leading the team in carries and yardage at 2 for 22 yards. Yards per carry and yardage overall. Oh, yeah, excuse me. He's their leading rusher. Keon White had their sack. A lot of folks think the Smeagol's are going to bounce right back this year. I don't see it myself. I think they're going to be better than the Cowboys, but I don't expect much out of the Cowboys. Let's just leave it at that. So that's pretty much the news around the division. Um, I'll have a list of everybody who gets cut in the morning for you on the noon show. We will be back with the Monday mashup if Leonard's up to it. I want to thank everybody for watching, and I also want to thank our sponsors, the ones that pay me and the ones that don't. And we'll start with the ones that don't. They're our favorites. We got FDB. Fuck the Bears. Put it in the chat. Fuck the Bears. Just spell it out. I don't care. And of course, FTP, which is fuck the pack. And of course, fuck the Vikings. I don't. I'm not. I'm so not worried about them this year that I haven't even had one made up. And of course, my favorite sponsor, the one that pays me to say their ad right here. It's Brandon Service, right at the corner of South Grand Traverse and West Atherton Road. Where? 602 West Atherton Road in Flint, Michigan. Flint, where the water's shit, but the tires are great. Used tires starting at $40 a piece and up, depending on size and condition. New tires, call to get your quote. 810-233-8230. Talk to George, Red, or myself to get your quote. Allow us a day to get them shipped in minimum. If you mention this ad, you will get $10 off your set of tires. And James Burgess comes in with Food and Drug Administration Board and the file transfer protocol. Chris says nice sounds. And this is what I think about the guys that talk crap. When I say talk crap, I mean just get out of here with it. I'm not here for that. I'm here to talk actual sports, have fun. Chris, it was great to see you in the chat. Thanks for the support, brother. And you know I support your show. I try to hop in the chat. If you ever want me as a guest, let me know ahead of time. No. The last US made tire brand is the one that sounds absolutely like it's not American made. It's Yokohama. Yokohama is the only tire that is 100% American made. Cooper gets their tires from a combination of 3 different manufacturers. One's in Czechoslovakia, one's in China, and one's in Taiwan. Mr. Yokohama started his tire company from the money he got in reparations from being in the World War II internment camp. I was lied to. Thanks, Jeremy. Yes, Cooper is not American made. They are not even American based company anymore. There are 7 tire manufacturers, and Yokohama is the only one located in the United States. Goodyear closed down their factories in Ohio. Um, Cooper closed down their company that was, I believe, in the Midwest somewhere, a little west of us. And the other company that was made here at one time was Continental. The only thing Continental has, you can drive by their storage facility in Auburn Hills now. That was where they were made, but they're not made there anymore. It's right there by Great Lakes Crossing. When you pass Great Lake Crossing before you get to that exit, which I believe is Joslin Road, where the old golf dome used to be, and now it's the Top Golf Center. On the left-hand side, you'd see the Michelin is still a Canadian company, but their tires are made in Czechoslovakia, where Continentals are. Well, I want to thank everybody in the chat for tuning in. It's been one hell of a week of football. I'll be here at noon tomorrow with the latest cuts, who they kept, who they didn't, um, who I think will make it back to the practice squad type of thing. Try every day to be a better person. And you heard Dave Ford, that's the only way to make the world a better place. It starts right here. Much love to everybody in the chat. Go Lions, one pride. I'm glad we got the win, but I didn't care if we did.